And he goes for the spray. The flag flies high in Sin City tonight.
Doug, it's over.
What a finish.
Cloud9, 2-0 NRG.
In the C9 match, I feel like we kind of just let them take over the map. We realized, like, all right, we just got to start playing, and like we got to start doing something.
They just want to fight. And, well,
Okay.
Yeah, I understand why.
Our loss against Sentinels, we kind of let off the gas in the last two maps, and we immediately knew right away after our loss what our mistakes were. Pressure's fully on us, but we usually play better under pressure.
She's one of him. Here comes Elsis, and he gets it just deserts. Cryo going to take another 2K here. Back in Cryo's direction, but he's found a window to play from, and bam! That is dirty.
Well, you know, they say legends are made in the lower bracket.
Personally, I'm feeling really confident going into NRG. You definitely got to look out for their new pickups, Verno and Mata, and Som is always pretty consistent.
This is a very dangerous situation as the smoke goes down. Som with very nice snaps.
We're in the lower bracket now. If we lose, we're out, so everything's on the line.
Day 6 of VCT Americas Kickoff is in full swing in our second elimination match of the day is about to go down. It's NRG versus 100 Thieves. And no matter who wins or loses, one NA team is getting the boots, and that kept you up at night.
This is going to be a juicy game, and it did keep me up at night. I had to tweet about it. I'm like, this is crazy that this is happening so early on.
This is like the meat and potatoes of the bracket in round 1 of lowers. This is insane.
Whatever it is, meat or potatoes, we will be feasting on this one, I'm pretty sure. Let's dig into it, starting with NRG. Obviously, everyone was super excited about his squad, right? We have the golden trio here, joined by two incredible, exciting new pickups. But it didn't go their way.
No, it's shocking that it didn't. They go from 3-0ing Gen G in a finals in the offseason to losing 0-2 to Zeppa in the
Yeah, literally, just Zeppa. Just Zeppa, exactly.
What kind of plot twist was that?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw them struggling against the Tejo pick on both maps that they played. Now, that being said, it's NRG. They're a team that, once they get that out of their system, they kind of download the game plan of how to play against a Tejo. I think we're going to see something very different here today from NRG.
Well, you hope so, because it's an elimination match, and if they can't get it together, they're out of the competition. But quite frankly, this has got to be their nightmare, right? What a scenario. You have a ton of momentum in the off-season, and then after that, you stumble in the first match, and then you find yourself up against a very strong-looking 100 Thieves in the lower bracket. That is the fuel of nightmares.
Yeah, that is the feel of a nightmare. Oh, that's crazy.
Let me get out of the way real quick.
So sketchy.
Yo, that's the scariest Tejo I've ever seen.
Right. I didn't want to sleep
Nosferatu vibes,
anyway.
yo. But that is exactly what was their nightmare. I mean, in that Cloud9 series, and we know that 100 Thieves isn't scared of playing that Tejo either. So, yo.
But it kind of was everything. They just looked disconnected. They weren't proactive. There was just like a lot of things that didn't quite work in their favor. But they're not strangers, or some of the individuals are not strangers to making a very successful lower bracket run.
Yeah, that off-season event they won, the Super League event, they ran it from the lowers.
Yeah, they
like
lost
that
it. Yeah.
Typical fashion. I mean, going back to the days where Chet would give the interview, talk about cringe comps, beating them in round 1. The same thing is happening here. It's like we're literally in the same exact timeline. It's crazy. The same things happen to this team over and over. Am I worried? Not at all.
No.
It's crazy, though, that Tejo, this new initiator, made, in my opinion, the best initiator duo, Ethan and Verno, look suboptimal.
Yeah.
That is insane to me.
I do want to say, though, even though, you know, they did lose to Cloud9, and Cloud9 kind of got exposed by MIBR and G2, I do want to say, though, that match was very, very close still.
It was.
We cannot forget that even with them being caught off guard, they almost brought it back.
Yes.
They could have won either map. It honestly could have gone their way. Had a couple situations.
What situation? Are you thinking of something fractured?
Yeah, bro,
tree?
Bro, listen, I'm pretty cool with NRG, all right? I don't know what you're trying to do right here, right now.
You
All
got
right,
a whip?
Okay, maybe a little bit of whippage and et cetera, but still overtime loss on first map when you basically got bullied, you know, playing a Killjoy into the Tejo. And then the second map, it came down to Zeppo honestly just hitting some really nice times with utility and shots. So.
But never worry, you know, like now Finesse has tape, and we know what this man can do, and he's got some tape and some time to prep. Let's actually hear what FNS had to say to Dryad ahead of this elimination match.
I'm here at FNS ahead of match 2, and FNS, that first match or that last match that you played, it didn't really go your way. So what were some of the things that you talked in the past couple of days to make sure that today's match against 100 Thieves goes your way?
I mean, we definitely made our practices more efficient and figured out the mistakes that we made from that game, and a lot of it had to do with like little things. Obviously, some of the scorelines didn't go, like some of the defense stuff at least, our setups and stuff didn't go our way, so we just had to clean those up, and that's what we kind of focused our practice on.
Well, I know it's going to be a good matchup, so best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, last week we did see NRG's Ethan pull off an incredible play to help win a round. So let's find out how they do that. But first, let's take a look at what they actually did. Roll the clip on Lodos right here. Walk us through it, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Zoe. So what we're about to see is Ethan on this Omen, and he's going to TP over the Teo ult. You see it comes in segments, right? It's not hitting the map all at once. It operates a lot like a slow breach ult or a slower fade ult. And so on the Omen, if you time it correctly, you can teleport over those segments as they're coming your way and end up in a cleared area, which is what we're going to show you right now. We're going to switch it up a little bit so it's a scenario you can use in ranked, right? A Teo ult coming into the seaside on Lotus, and I'm playing by the bend, and so go ahead, use the ult now.
Ready, brother?
And you can see it on the mini-map when he uses it. It's on my mini-map, and when it starts exploding, it's coming towards me. I wait till it's nearby, TP over it, and boom. Yep. I actually got tapped by it on that one. Worked a little bit worse. But now, another thing you could do, which Ethan didn't do in that clip, is you could actually Omen ult cancel. And this one's a little bit trickier because you have to do it earlier. But you can see the Teo ult from within the Omen ult UI.
And that's a cool thing that I didn't even know until today when we found that tech out. So yeah, we're pretty much just cooking some ideas that you guys can use in your own ranked games, because, I mean, you're not going to do it like the pros, but you can maybe even be better than the pros.
Oh, man, dude.
Boom. It's sick. I mean,
it's actually pretty sick.
When we think about Tejo, we think about the creativity of that, but now as an Omen player, you are able to outplay the Teo utility yourself, and hopefully with these
not even the ult, just the missiles as well. I mean, there's a lot of movement here with Omen to get out of these abilities. So I just wanted to go over that with you guys, and we'll head back to the desk. Absolutely love to see it. Yeah, try it out in your ranked, and make sure to clip it and send it over to us, because I want to see how you fare. Great coaching, guys. A+.
Hey.
Still in session, apparently.
Just got to get the viewers' brains flowing a little bit.
We want to see more of those cool techie plays, but also we want to see more insane performances from that rest of the NRG team. And some, man, he was crap. That was an insane performance he had in their loss. And he finally got the credit he deserves over the offseason when we got to listen to the comms from NRG. And you heard Hassam mid-rounds, and it's almost like he's a second FNS on the comms. This guy is giving macro ideas. He's not just playing his game, just dropping smokes for the team. He's actually calming in the mid-round, dictating where the rounds are ending, what to do on the next round, what ults are in play, who's planting the spike on the other team. He's doing it all.
And what impressed me the most was he was kind of the first one that had to step up, especially on that fracture map, to get anything going, because it was looking very, very dire. And then all of a sudden we get the Psalm 4K, you know, holding the flank, just like vintage Psalm, just playing like an aim trainer.
That's what I was saying though, is Psalm was there, Mata was there. It's the two initiators that you would probably put on the all-star ballot, right? I mean, Verno and Ethan are some of the best initiators we got here in Americas. And to see them both fall flat in that series, they need to change that up. Let's talk a little bit more about Mata though. Let's keep it positive. You know, some was fragging out, but Mata really turned it up later in the series as well. And it was great to see that kind of performance in a loss from their newest acquisition.
Yeah, he played phenomenally on this raise. His mechanics are so good on this character. I remember seeing like a rocket jump over a rocket, and he's the one that gets the kill when he falls down in Fracture on a main. It was insane, but it's his timings and some of these quick shots that he can take that really sticks him apart from the rest of the duelists in this league. Yeah,
he's one of the most sought-after players from Tier 2, actually. Came from MXS last year, and NRG, FNS had his eyes on Mata from the get-go, right? But Mata had a lot of offers. He talked about it on the Sen City broadcast.
Even in the EMEA.
Yeah, he had about a dozen VCT offers, and he's stuck with this team. He believes they have all the pieces. And when you watch him play, you see why. I mean, he's getting set up left and right.
Yeah.
He's got the perfect players throwing the right util for him, the right IGL. And I think this is going to be a breakout year for Mata.
Well, they are going up against 100 Thieves today, though. That is looking really crisp. Yeah, they're finding themselves in the lower bracket, but quite frankly, what they've showed us in their opening match against MIBR, they slapped them around the sir. I'm sorry, like that was not pretty. There were kids present, and they had to close their eyes. They ran that neon. It was super high tempo play. It was beautiful, and even in their loss against Sentinels, they played well.
It's very interesting because the map that they beat Sentinels on, they were running like a unique comp of their own, you know, a Tejo Sage. And then when they got to the vanilla comps, that's where all of a sudden they were the ones that were like, oh wait, this is what it's like to play against something new.
Yeah.
And they looked very shaky. So depending on how the map picks and bans go, if it's like these vanilla comp matchups, I feel like I'm leaning more towards NRG.
I would tend to agree. 100 Thieves bind slipped right out of their hands in that Sentinels game, and you could just feel the old 100 Thieves coming back. That third map against Sentinels, PTSD. You just knew it was going to happen, right? And I fear for 100 Thieves today. If it goes deep in the series like that, we go deep into 100 Thieves map pool. I favor NRG, and when we get into the depth of the map pool area. So I think 100 Thieves need to win quick today.
Yeah, and that's how they've been playing though with this new meta.
Yeah,
I feel like they've really played at a faster pace and they're way more decisive. Like if you give them anything, if you give them just even a sniff of blood in the water, they're hunting you down. They're going straight at your neck.
Yeah, but individuals have showed that they have so much depth. There's versatility, so you have a lot of great pieces to work with. Cryo, for example, played 3 different roles in that loss to Sentinels. And you know what worked best? Sage. I loved that Sage. I think that was,
love Sage.
I love Sage. I'm not a Sage player, but I just love what Sage does to the other team, how it messes up the timings. That was great on display against that Sentinels match.
Yeah, and this is what Cryo did the absolute best, is mess up the timings. You see the slows all over the screen. He's filtering the fights and using the wall in mid effectively to allow quick rotations for his team and super slow rotations for the enemy team. It is just a master of using it with the team, right? It's all game plan material, and it allows him to focus on his crosshair.
And that's the scary thing too, because he has those good timing peaks as well to disrupt, even whether you're in his utility or sitting right behind it, and then he can close out the round for you. He has been in such a good form this year. It's been really impressive to see him step up to the plate like this and be able to be so flexible and then still hone it back on when he's on the duelist.
Yeah, it's not only the op, it's not only the duelist, right? He's doing it across a lot of different areas of the game right now. I want to see if he keeps it up, because that's the most important piece on 100 Thieves.
Let's actually hear what he has to say, as Dryad had an opportunity to sit down and have a quick chat with Cryo.
Hey guys, I'm here with Cryo from 100 Thieves. And Cryo, last year you were able to win stage 1, and it showed that it was the prep that you had in the offseason that helped you out so much. Now, the prep is really showing, but how are you going to make sure that the last couple of days that you had for this lower bracket run to start to go your way?
If we're talking about last year, we went 0-2 in kickoff, so already some improvement here in this year's kickoff. But I think no matter what happens today, this is probably my favorite iteration of 100T. So I'm fully confident that we're gonna have a good year.
Yeah, I mean, it was for split 1, but And then going into the second question, you've been playing a lot more controller, and you look pretty good on the Clove and everything that we've seen. So how comfortable are you feeling about playing these agents? Because it seems like you're unstoppable right now.
Yeah, I don't mind playing any agent at all for whatever my team needs, but yeah, I'm just a Jet one trick trying to learn new agents,
And it's looking pretty good. Thank you so much, Cryo. Good luck.
Yo, that's absolute cap. He is definitely not a Jet one trick. I'm about to prove it with some Sage advice for you guys. I have 3 rounds from their game against Sentinels. The first one is just going to give you an idea for how he's operating on the map, right? This is that set play. It's a trap for B main. I think it had everyone wowed. This is really sick. He has a slow lineup from heaven. You can see it's going into this breach stun right in the center of the map. The Teo missiles coming in on the left and right, and the slow right in the middle. This allows Asuna to basically cut that space, get that opening kill onto Narrate, And you can see right now in middle, Cryo has already moved over from heaven into mid. And the reason why he's doing this is 100 Thieves anticipates a very fast reaction into A. 4 players just showed presence at B. It makes perfect sense. So Cryo walls mid, and it's his role to go through the vents. And what you'll see is they actually have EU rotate all the way spawn and actually drone Cryo to go clear heaven. It is super cool. So they're setting him up now in heaven. So he went from being a support player to almost like a pseudo chamber getting set up on a ramp. So that was a really cool look they did here. And now going into the very next clip, you can see again, playing mid, using the wall as a reaction tool. The second he sees this Yoru ult popped, he's walling mid, Asuna can leave vents, and looking again at the mini-map, you can see they are in a position to rotate four players to A before Zekken can ever even get out of his ult. So he's crossing mid right now, just being a little cautious, walking, not making a lot of noise, rotating over to meet up with Asuna in heaven. And you can see now he's grouped, looks over towards ramp, and if you take a look at his util, he's gonna actually end up slowing this corner where the breach is on the minimap. And you can see it causes the breach to actually leave that pocket, go back to main, which then allows them to open up this fight. Cryo gets the kill onto the breach, and the flood is already in. He's trading effectively off of Asuna, gets the res onto Asuna, who then closes out the round. Literally perfect play out of the Sage. And now this isn't the same clip. This is actually about to be a clip of that same game for the next Yoru ult from Zekken. So here you see Zekken popping the ult again, and the same exact scenario is over here happening on the minimap. You can see Asuna ready to rotate out of ropes. Cryo has walled mid, and they are fearless. They're not afraid of an Omen TPing over this. They're using sound cues in case that does happen, which is why he's walking. And this round is a little different. You see the flood come out of heaven. And this is due to Xander's Astra ult, which is gonna come in all the way from that B site. He's actually looking at it. You can see him on the mini-map. He's eyeing it up, and you're gonna see the ult come in. Cryo, who's currently looking at ramp, slows this so that way there's no flank onto heaven. And you can see right now, he's gonna flood out and again use Asuna as bait, which is why Asuna says this guy is the best player in the world, because he knows if Cryo gets a fair fight, he's gonna win it, which is why this Sage is a goated pick for this guy. Right there, that's pretty ridiculous out of Boosty. Trying to take the 1v1 again against Zekken, and this time, Zekken gets the best out of him. But those are the 3 rounds I wanted to talk to you guys about. I hope you guys can take this into your game. I'm gonna head back to the desk.
You make it seem so easy.
Yeah.
It's really not, though. I wish it was. I would do it.
Me too, man. Me too.
No, but it was honestly a real joy, to see Cryo on that Sage. I love how they made it work. Words are hard, man. The game is hard too. Everything's just difficult. Life is pain. You know what else is pain? Being on the other side of a really good Teo. And you actually looked really comfortable. My goodness, I can't talk anymore. You guys should just take it away, please. I want to talk about you on the Teo. How are you ranking his Teo?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, it was the initiator of the year. This guy is pretty good, and he puts in a lot of research into his game, right? I have an immense respect for EU and how he approaches the game and his time as a pro player, right? Mm-hmm. He's not one of those pros that focus on content creation. He's that guy that's gonna get like a bunch of cringe lineups that no one knows about.
Yeah, and then he's also that guy that can pull off like a ridiculous clutch or very, very important impact frags in the middle of a round.
Yeah.
Like I've seen so many 3Ks where the 100 Thieves will be down numbers, and it's just EU being in a 2v5 with is anybody, really, and just finessing around. Most notably, him and Xander on Bind, they work together as like this really crazy hit squad, and they group up, they peak together at the right moments. It's really impressive to see.
It really is. Now, perhaps it's already obvious to the people watching, but we are troubleshooting a little tech issue on stage and need to take a very short break. In the meantime, let's meet NRG's 2025 roster.
Hi,
I'm Finesse, and this is my team, NRG. First up, we got Som. He's got the vibes, he's the clown of the team, and he's my best friend. Next up, we got Verno. He is a sharpshooter in the server. Definitely tries really hard in every single game, and he is an AI bot. Next up, we got Mata. He's definitely the tallest one on the team, the calmest one on the team, and in my opinion, the best player in VCT Americas. Last but not least, we have Ethan. Easily the most versatile player I've ever played with, but more importantly than that, he's one of the best people I've ever met.
Very nice snaps! Unreal! Shows clear a little bit of space for John and Declan going to swing together. What are you doing? How does he find that?
Energy going up against the 100 Thieves. How do we think this one is going to pan out? Well, let's take a look at our predictions. I feel like I know where each of you is going. I don't know how, but you know,
It was a tough one.
Was it? You would always go Energy.
That's not true. That's not true. But the reason why I picked NRG is because I think that just in this matchup, I think they'll be more prepared for the aggressive style of 100 Thieves. They have the footage on them. Yeah, I just think they're going to be more prepared this time around.
Sean, Energy, not 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I just have no loyalty. I don't know what I say. I'm not loyal.
That's right. You're off the payroll is what I'm hearing.
I don't know, they just let me down so much. I can't jinx them.
You're trying to pull a TCK, huh?
Oh no,
You're trying to pull a TCK. I see what he's trying to do here, huh?
Look, stop.
I'm the only true believer of NRG here.
Don't tell them.
That's right. Trust issues are real, man. I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, we obviously want to see both of these teams performing out of their mind. This is an elimination match, and Energy and 100 Thieves are finding themselves in that position. I can't wait to see what both of them have in store for us. Our teams are ready for the walkouts. So let's get comfortable. Let's strap in and send it down to the stage to get this one started.
Riot Games Arena, 2 NA Legends take the stage for this do or die elimination match. Let's hear it for your first team. It's 100
Thieves! This what treated us to a 3-map banger of a series last week against Sentinels, and top to bottom, they looked good. They should be considered the favorite heading into this match, but they're going up against NRG. This is a tall order still.
Yeah, Boostio's tweets about, you know, how
Which one?
The most recent one about being able to beat Finesse in his retirement year. I mean, he's been smack talking all year long. That's very on brand, but I have a feeling that Finesse is going to take that personally.
You think so? I think FNS is laughing about that right now. I think Bonkar's cooking though. He's cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of footage from both sides to see what each other have done. So it is going to be very interesting to see the battle of the coaches.
And on the other side, fully recharged and ready to go. Let's hear it for NRG!
While they did not live up to our expectations in their opening match, we do know what they are capable of, given an opportunity to download their opponents. And with enough tape at his disposal, Finesse will be cooking up something indeed.
Yeah, and NRG is a team where if they start slow in this series, I think that that's going to be their biggest downfall. It's something that they've struggled with in the past, Sean, and they cannot afford to give 100 Thieves that leeway.
Oh, I agree with that, because when you look at NRG, when they start slowly, the vibes just get sucked right out of the room, right? You can feel the despair and loss of hope when you look at NRG when they trail early. Oh man, but Mata is the one player in this team currently that has broken that trend in my eyes. When I watch him, he's always trying to lift the team up. So if they do fall into that scenario, can Mata dig them out?
He could lift all of them up. Have you seen how tall this man is?
Yeah,
Actually, like a
very
6-foot gaming warlord.
It's pretty ridiculous, actually.
But yeah, for sure, Mata is that one to bring them out of it. But then you have Boostio, who you know is going to be standing up. We got to like have a tally of how many times he stands up in this match, I swear.
Boostio standing equals Mata sitting?
Yeah, you're right. You're actually right.
That's crazy.
All right, let's take a look at where they're taking us. And I like what I'm seeing here. 100 Thieves picking Lotus. This is where we got to watch them rolling all over MIBR with that Neon comp. Will they pull out the Neon again?
I think so. There's no reason not to, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't really have to showcase much of their defensive side at all. So right now, NRG, they're starting that attacking side. They don't really know what to expect because it was a stomp last time 100 Thieves played this map.
That's risky though. You know, picking this Lotus into FNS, this is an IGL's map. Seesawing the 3 sites, pushing, pulling rotations, and he has footage of you?
Yes.
Oh dear.
I'm actually so happy you brought that up because also the last time NRG played, it was a Vice composition, right?
Yeah.
So if you are running that fast aggressiveness on the attacking side, that Vice wall can really isolate those site executes if not baited out correctly.
The Thorns act like a Sage slow. I mean, it'll shut down the Neon right away. This is a very different look going into 100 Thieves.
Oh.
And yeah, they're running it again.
Yeah,
they
exact
are.
same comp.
And I'm assuming NRG is going to keep the same composition as well because, like I said earlier, it just makes sense. I mean, you can deal with a lot of attack side aggressiveness. Oh, wait. But they're switching it up a little bit, no? Or did they run the Tejo last time?
I think this is different.
No, they didn't.
Oh, but Ethan was on Omen, bro.
Yeah, this is different.
So they are changing roles a little bit,
Yes.
but now we get to see Ethan on Tejo.
Ooh, this is fire.
This is fire, and we're about to see what's going down. The stakes couldn't be any higher, so let's get this one started and send it over to your casters. It's Vensili and Riv.
We are almost ready to jump into the map here for this second elimination game. 100 Thieves versus NRG. Both teams left 2024 kickoff pretty early. They're trying to prevent that here and make the lower bracket run.
Unfortunately, one of them is definitely going home after this series,
It
right?
has to happen.
At least we're starting on familiar territory for these two teams, both of them playing on Lotus. Of course, for NRG, they received a defeat there from their opponents before in Cloud9, but going on to the other side for 100 Thieves, they did quite well. They dominated MIPR going into that game. That said, though, as the Des just mentioned, we went through a whole revamp of the composition around NRG going into this game.
And they still want to keep the Vice in there. We saw FNS actually on that last time, but it's going to go over to Verno, and they do swap in. What we've been seeing so strong at the beginning of rounds is that Tejo Breach combination. Anytime those two got their nose pushed up against the wall to drop at the beginning of the round, expect something spicy.
And this is what we expect of NRG anyways, right? They're always known for very slow starts, and then they go into a lower bracket run. I mean, remember, during the Soup tournament, they lost against a tier 14, most likely, Vietnamese squad, Go Vietnam, by the way. And then they came back into it and then won the whole thing. So it shows there that they learn a lot from their mistakes. They work around the clock. Now they come with potentially an answer to what 100 Thieves comes into this game, because 100 Thieves are also not changing their composition since the last time they played this map. The thing is, though, if you're looking at the comp for NRG, it's pretty much that MIBR comp. The only difference is MIBR played Cortesia on a Killjoy, but this time you do have a Vice instead here for NRG. But what we saw from that game was that all that salvo and fault line coming out from MIBR was always broken by the timing and the speed coming out from the Omen TPs and also Asuna as this Neon. So hopefully going into this one with a very similar comp for NRG, they have built up something that could really slow down and cool down the aggression that comes out for 100 Thieves, a team that really wants to be aggressive this year.
Yeah, super aggressive. We've been talking to Zix between maps in the previous game. He says, you know, this meta really helps us get into our he said super disrespectful play style. 2 of those supers in there. So they know they're kind of putting this aggressive play style that doesn't really care about what utility they're seeing. They're trying to get in front of it, the neon speed there. The other interesting thing to that is that 100 Thieves feels like they have a very good read on Tejo, and he works so good in the comp, but we're only seeing him run a few maps for 100 Thieves, so really sorting out how they want to do things to keep aggression with their neon comps, but also keep their bind comp and throw Tejo in sometimes when they can.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot to go around, but I feel like FNS has had time to read it all, so this is going to be a really good match.
Yeah, so just a little bit of patience, chat. We're just waiting for one of the players to relog into the server, and then we can kick off at least this elimination game. But to continue to that point that you were mentioning, Riv, as you were saying, like, they do have a bit of reps. They know how to play against a Tejo potentially here for 100 Thieves. But Asuna, after the defeat against Sentinels, we're saying it's a whole different ball game in terms of what we're able to practice, what we know, what we could come up against a Tejo. But when it comes into the game in an official matchup, it could be totally different. So going into this one, we'll have to see here if they're able to maintain their calm and set with that same expectation, just like they did against MIBR. But thank you for your patience, chat. We're going into the game now to finally go into the elimination game between 100 Thieves and NRG.
Starting on Lotus as well. We're going to have NRG on the attack side, 100 Thieves on defense, so they won't get to do any of that pace setting to start, or will they? A lot of pistol rounds have 100 Thieves instantly out the extremities, getting themselves into a position to gain that knowledge, and it's going to be huge because FNS likes to figure out what's going on across the map all the time. Remember previously he said, give me time. That's what he loves.
All right, well, looks like we're going to enjoy here the scenes of Lotus for now as we have, unfortunately, a little bit more
already caster cursed us,
Yeah, sorry, sir. I think that's my fault, Chad. I apologize. I said it at the very beginning. I was like, oh, this is going to be a banger game. It's going to go the whole distance. It's going to be a long one as a banger, but we're going to add tech pause on top of that just to make sure that, you know, we hold on to the suspense of this game starting so we can get super excited once it finally starts. But to go back into this, just back into this game, we're looking at the agent composition as well. This is still a big test for a lot of these players because you're going into Verno back from like an initiator role to a into a sentinel
best
role.
Players
right?
at the last tournament, right?
Exactly. So
Crushing it.
There's a lot of big changes coming through. It's a big gamble for NRG, and hopefully it'll pay off.
Hopefully it will. And looking at how 100 Thieves has previously been a team that would bring back rounds, be strong in a game, they still have that Sage on split, a lot of retake, a lot of preventing. Their retakes throughout the season, throughout kickoff already, have kind of been where they're coming back in and giving pain to their opponent.
Yeah.
They lose somebody in the beginning of the round, and it seems to just fall apart. They need that whole squad. The information on the map is gained to still play their life and get back to the site. So they have everyone for the retake. It's where they're so strong, and if they can't get to that retake point, they start to just fizzle out.
And that's where they falter as well for 100 Thieves when you go into that third map against Sentinels, where Cryo also mentioned in his post-game interview that they lacked that information. When they were still playing a Fade and a KO, you have two agents, initiators that can get you that mid-round info, the long-range knives, and try to react on that. Usually the reads are still pretty good, but unfortunately it hasn't been going into that one, at least for the ending of the series for 100 Thieves. So I expect in this game for them to be a lot more proactive and a lot more aggressive too, especially if they have to play against the timing of a tail potentially later on in this series.
All right, well, we have this tech pause still going on. We got to meet a few of the members of NRG before the game, so let's take a moment to meet 100 Thieves while we wait for this.
Hey guys, it's Busio, and this is my team, 100 Thieves. First up, Asuna, my anime protagonist. Next up, we got Cryo, Mr. 4K himself. EU, my initiator of the year. Not yours, mine. Finally, we got Xander, a Canadian model. Just look at him, he's beautiful.
All right, we are back in for now, getting ready to get into the game here. Thank you so much again for your patience before we get into this banger of a matchup. Both teams ready to deliver. My God, I wish you could actually see the chat that they were doing in the lobby before this, because it was hilarious. These guys are ready. They were joshing each other and just taking the shots already before they're even in game.
They were definitely playing some mind games going into this one for sure, but at least we're coming back from the feature of Boostio introducing his team, and we didn't even have a chance to talk about Cryo, where this is basically his second time playing Clove in the VCTs, right? The first look at it was against MIBR, and just as Cryo was mentioning with Dan Dryad in the interview before this game, it doesn't matter what role he plays, it's just whatever 100 Thieves wants him to do, and he's able to play these agents quite well. But finally, we are officially going into the game to kick things off here on Lotus.
Do we have any big buys for someone? It doesn't look like it around the map. There is some low armors, but we're looking at 100 Thieves here. 4 set to get themselves out on mound, create a bit of a problem for the other team, and we're actually not going to get that kind of composition that would really lock up. It has to be Asuna going out, figuring out what's on mound, and we saw this before with the Breach, Fault Line, the Paranoia coming through, and Asuna being able to have a heyday. And there might be a slight audio issue.
Yeah,
still.
You know what? This time around, Riv, I'm going to let you let us go back into the game, not me, because every time I've been saying thank you for your patience, it just goes into another one. So I think I'm the problem today.
I think that'll be good. Boostio, hand signals. Is he landing the plane? No, they're just chilling. He's ready.
Again, there's still a lot at the plate, right? A lot at stake, rather, going into this game, right? This is still early days. I think for a lot of teams, there's still a lot of like hope out to say, hey, it's just like kickoff. We're going to have a chance to come back in here. But there's been some big changes coming out from this NRG squad with the new rookies coming in. So sometimes you just want to start off things on the right foot. You need this victory. You want to have a deeper run.
All right, chat. We're totally expecting this one to go to the third map, right? So we want you to go, get your drinks, get your popcorn, get ready. We're going to toss to a quick break, get this fixed up, and we'll get right back for this series after the break. Don't go anywhere. We are back in the Riot Games Arena. Thanks so much for sticking with us online as well across the world. We're ready to get into 100 Thieves. NRG, Vanza got you this time. We're going to load in, we're going to stay in, and we're going to go 3 maps on this one. Let's see what the teams have for each other. We're on the screen, we're in the game, and we're on the attack as we hit Lotus. And C looks like it's going to get a lot of pressure to start.
Yeah, also the one-way from the Clove to kick things off, and it's going to be bloody at the very beginning.
Xander waiting with the paranoia right there, but peeks out for a quick classic. They've got NRG scattered. Cryo's going to be able to get a big lurk on here, but 100 Thieves already doing the work at the lobby on the C side, and they're just going to take down NRG left and right. Verno's looking to find a shop at EU. Snipes him down to start off with a very first pistol, a fast pistol round.
100 Thieves continue with what Zix has been talking about before they started Kickoff. It's to make sure here with the introduction of Xander, with this roster, that they could build upon fundamentals, making sure that the trades are going to be perfect. There's always going to be somebody else with you to fight with you and ensure these trades, and that on top of extra utility to add. So when you're looking at this game and you're looking at these post-game interviews and all these players are so comfortable, you know that it just now comes down to tweaking on the strategy. And that really caught NRG off guard in this pistol.
And if they 100 Thieves watched NRG, it was C almost the first 3 rounds with a touch of A maybe on one of those first 3. So what a read, what homework right there. It's got to feel so good to have your pistol strat work like that. So across the backside, just a bit of patience now for NRG.
Yeah. And as Sean Garrett says, this is an IGL map here. Finesse could do a lot in terms of spreading out both initiators on either sides of the map to make sure you could fault line. You could bring salvos just so that Asuna cannot get that early aggression going to the beginning. So you could already start seeing this conditioning coming out from NRG. As now, the goal, potentially just moving in, trying to get this plant down, but there's already good opposition in this crossfire set up by 100 Thieves.
Asuna fighting with the Bulldog right away, cleaning up a few more members of NRG. You can see Mata on this flank, this lurk rather. Expect that every round, even in the gun rounds. Always off on by his own, just trying to create pressure so the rest of the team can move.
That is actually an interesting point that you bring too, because it has also been sort of like a game plan for NRG last week, where Mata was like flanking on his own, where he has full raise util. It could be so useful for a flood retake that NRG brings into their last comp on this very map. But now it was just an eco. It makes sense. You're trying to get your picks. You're trying to get some pips up into your orbs so that you can get the showstopper ASAP.
A little lurk here. Verno, last one alive. Decides against going into B with all the angles.
Oh, I love this, though. For the fact that 100 Thieves are falling back and not giving a chance for Verno to die to any guns. So he's going to have to just throw his life away. They even sees him. They want to make sure that he only gets 1,000 credits into the next round, and he'll be successful. Not even a silver lining of a plant for the team.
The strategy of delay. It works in so many fashions, and there breaks the bank of Verno. You can see it's going to be a Guardian. They'll be able to get a bit here for what is the bonus round, though. They're going to have that by. Let's see again. Oh, it's just going to be the stick on him. Unfortunate. And fault line, and smoke's coming in from his team. They're like, well, you can stay protected and try to get to a sticky spot and force a fight, but... So 2 almost near perfect rounds here for 100 Thieves in how they play the game. On to the bonus round. Quick hit out here towards A. Doors open, so they're going to make a lot of noise, just trying to distract NRG from even wanting this space, but they have a bit of rubble control.
Already going with one ways on the defensive side from Xander as well, just so that NRG cannot cross this rubble area. So once it dissipates, it still gives so much time for 100 Thieves to just set up for the next flood. There's still util available. Asuna, ADS down for the fight.
Ready to fight. Breach just behind there to help slow down NRG, but Mata fires shots through Baby Door and cleans all of that up. The util 100 Thieves would use to stop this hit is gone.
Mata brought a lot of confidence coming into challengers into this one. He's mentioned that he's, again, not trying to sound ego on his side, quoting him. He felt like he was above everybody else towards challengers, and he has what it takes for America. So getting those 2 entries that comfortably on the re-hit from NRG is great, as they're going for the re-hit into B in contact.
I mean, even these peaks are giving EU trouble. Nice just a little duck over the shoulder, gets that third one, and now Cryo looks to take a few HP bars down, but it's not going to be too much. Sam cleans up the last 2, and NRG are on the board.
Yeah, definitely missing a little bit there for 100 Thieves, as they're trying to retaliate by having Asuna being your first point of contact. So he looks down and gets picked off, but look at that. Nobody really able to follow across because of a nice smoke being thrown too in the front of the site. So just a baby door, not really set up for that trade. It's really nice here for NRG to react here into the mid-round.
Good kills by Sam on that one. Even in their loss, he was plus 20-something? I don't know. He had a crazy score still. It didn't look like it should have happened, but no, Sam has been firing on all cylinders here to start kickoff, whether the team is winning or losing. Another quick one towards Rubble for space take, but 100 Thieves across the map are doing it just as quick on C.
Now we want to know what the next step is, because now it's guaranteed that NRG has started things off on the A side. The Vice does allow here, the cheer allows them to group up together and work as a 5-man roster for NRG towards A.
Showstopper on your kill leader in the server, and he's only going to rack one more up with it. Mata now trying to pressure the site. Here's a drop to the left of Buck. He's been so good across kickoff, but not this time for Boostio. This lurk from Xander could do some damage, but NRG are hunkered in the site now, and they should be able to get this one pretty easily. We see 100 Thieves turning around either to get together here or save what they have.
Yeah. At that point, Xander was trying to find that timing behind, but the shear that was set by Verno actually came up, so they do have that inkling that there was going to be a late flank coming out from Xander. So nice job here for NRG just to add a little bit more quickly, make sure that they plant and they could stack up towards tree and not give a chance here for 100 Thieves to really fight back against a full roster of NRG who barely got damage in that round.
And I think it's super smart what Finesse is having the team doing. If you are expecting 100 Thieves to be taking a side of the map, they need to insert themselves on the other side or in B, right? Take space, so it's not just 100 Thieves bottlenecking you into your own spawn where you're buying weapons. And there's another round, though, for NRG. As they pick up 100 Thieves will have to sort out this next buy here for Cryo and Boostio.
And it started off with 100 Thieves trying to go for a trap play right back towards that C side where that pistol round actually came in favor of 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
And again, maybe one of those moments where it was a gamble, right? They feel like against Sentinels, they were able to have a good read, get the early fights. This time they were gambling here that NRG were going to go back to a default, the slow play style that Finesse likes to call, and potentially try to punish the breach, being Finesse himself at the very beginning. And now, as you can see, the difference in terms of positioning, the last time the trap play didn't happen, then they have less players on this C side to start, and that's where NRG is starting on the attack.
Look at that. You get Mata safely across. Mata another orb, just for a quick few abilities. They're not even going to take it right away. Making sure that space is safe before they do. They're not sure if anybody got behind the box. NRG is again going to play more default to the right side of the map and forceful towards C.
Makes sense. Move Mata up here just to make sure that nobody's playing very close range so that you could tap onto the orb and it doesn't engage a trap play for 100 Thieves. And now they could just entry towards the site with a full hit.
Nice disperse. Trying to flush out the members of 100 Thieves here, but not really giving them too much trouble. Staying inside Cryo ready, get the Guardian to tap, and he's going to have to hit Mata a few times, which gives Ethan the time to retaliate. They should have this site. 100 Thieves now going to gather together before they can get back in, but they have the util to make this hurt for NRG. What NRG's been doing good, though, is sticking together and pushing as a group once they realize they're getting re-rushed.
Biggest thing here is that paranoia from Xander because the fault line is not up for Boostio. This is going to give a chance potentially for Austin to create some space.
There's the group. They get together in 3, rush that waterfall area, and now they start to backpedal a little bit, so 100 Thieves has to go looking, searching around the column, around the pole, but no, it's Sam to get the final kill, and 3 in a row for NRG.
And that's exactly the start that you want for NRG, especially when you're playing a map like Lotus that you lost against Cloud9, but you have a chance to start off on your attack side where it could be a masterclass by Finesse from the very get-go, and you're starting to see it over here. Just as soon as they go for the plant, they don't want to play outside of the site where Ethan had a lot of clutch moments against C9 last week, rather. And now you're seeing just NRG work as a group here and are able to push through and even break the timing that 100 Thieves has trying to go for a flood retake. So very, very nicely done in terms of changing that style a bit.
It is a change in style because NRG was losing a lot of those rounds because they would sit in sight and not push, not get aggressive. Here, a little bit of aggression again, claiming position on the map towards Rubble. And already in the door. Holy, Xander reads that with a stinger. He's going to be able to upgrade here.
Paranoia is wasted very early, though, but at least he's able to fall back with the upgraded weapon. And that's going to put a lot of damage here, especially with Asuna just around the corner with the overdrive to help out if needed.
Armageddon's there for Ethan. He's just looking from across the map. Sam ready to deny a hit and create a bottleneck there with the fault line and A-main. And now, getting as far as they can. in that free space where they realize they're going to have to back up. So towards the other side, this is the first time Finesse has really gone all the way up to a site and pulled the team back.
Slowing the tempo and staying in as a group is actually quite important for NRG as well. They pulled away from the fade. You can't get some mid-round information with Prowlers or an Eye. So playing contact is going to be the name of the game in the mid-rounding, and you have at least the initiator support. Yeah, you don't have your duelist, but at least you have the util to move in as a group.
Well, NRG knows 100 Thieves will be just outside the site, but to play inside B less than 30 seconds is a death sentence. So free plant here for NRG, but now comes the pressure. Cryo is taken down quickly by Finesse, and the rest shouldn't be too tough here, as it's just going to be some Stingers Classic and a Phantom.
Yeah, but Ethan already used his Armageddon towards C, so we have to look back at 100 Thieves. They have an opportunity to flood.
For the ultimate, Asuna just goes down immediately. It seems like it fizzles out. He goes for the battle cry and is just instantly silenced there. Boostio on the left. No shot coming in. Verno's able to grab it, and in what seemed like a little bit of a pressure cook around, NRG had control.
Yeah, you have to give it here for NRG. Also with Ethan having that Armageddon ready, and usually with the Tejo, you want to play a delay, at least on paper when you're seeing this agent come out.
Yeah.
You're just trying to delay with util, stall, and just win off on time. But so far, NRG again have been staying inside the site. That big winning condition for that retake attempt, 400 Thieves, was actually Asuna with the overdrive along other util with it. But they have a 4-player crossfire setup coming out there for NRG. There's really nothing you could do when you have to clear 18 angles coming out from heaven.
And one of those things, I think, you mentioned such a good point, is the overdrive is, I think they were a few seconds faster, right? They were catching Finesse and team as they were rotating into their defensive positions, and there, everybody on NRG had time to look at whatever entry, cover each other on any trades, and Asuna was just a single target as he tried to create that moment and break crosshairs. So yeah, NRG, what a great read from Finesse and squad coming into this one to make sure the attack side starts strong with 4 in a row now, and it's going to cause Zix to call timeout.
So far, NRG with so many different changes at the very beginning of these rounds. Sometimes it's very quick towards Rubble, and then a lot of stop and goes, but never really a full site execution from A to Z, except for their attempt on the pistol round that got snuffed there by 100 Thieves. So NRG still probably has a lot in terms of the playbook to make sure that this timeout, whatever is being drawn out by Zix here, could already be a failure coming out of the timeout. Especially now that 100 Thieves comes out with weapons. It's a full gun run on their side. And the changes that we've seen, or that we're seeing going into this round, not too much. Still the same 2-1-2 setup on the defensive side. The same type of util grouping up together. So maybe again, it's honing those fundamentals.
Oh, Paranoia does work. Mata's able to get into position, but traded. As Ethan comes up big there. So smokes are down now. His 100 Thieves may want to try to get back in. Actually, Cryo's there, so no worries on that with the double smoke.
Now the defense is spread thin. This is a 3-sided map. So if you're just keeping one player at bay, it's going to be easy for NRG to just take you down. So they're giving up the A side for 100 Thieves. They're playing the stall on the C side. And a fight towards B, though, with Cryo, as you mentioned before, gets that pick on that Lurk of Verno.
Interesting little push there. Trying to take a lot of space for free in these previous rounds, and that one bites him a little bit. As C is going to be held, but Spike has not committed just yet. They don't feel like they have full control, and this delay could really cause problems for NRG as 100 Thieves is getting into position.
Especially when there's still so much time left. I mean, even if Ethan falls, we haven't committed into this fight yet, and now we do, finally. Yeah. Very well done for 100 Thieves towards the end. I thought there was just going to be potentially even a repump back towards that B side, because you saw potentially an over-rotate coming out from 100 Thieves.
It looks like they kind of kicked it up a notch on that retake. As soon as they were moving, they really did not stop, and it was a great kill there to start off by Xander. 100 Thieves hasn't really been able to get their hand in the pie too early in the game. It seems like Finesse and squad are starting off with the first kill or the majority of the map that would give them an advantage, so that was nice. We see 100 Thieves finally starting to battle back a bit in the beginning of the round. Here again, they actually put a little more power on this with EU being there instead of just a 2. The kill doesn't come through, though. Mata still capitalizes on one as Ethan picks up another. NRG are feeling good after that engage.
That is huge for NRG. We talked about slow starts in the very beginning. Yeah, maybe they lost that pistol round, but ever since their economy has been right, they actually have been playing the same style as 100 Thieves. They don't mind going toe-to-toe in these aggressive double trades, buddy system to win these fights, and they're coming out on top every time.
And Finesse is just saying everyone together on these. Cryo comes up, Amada gets the kill as he drops down. You feel pressured to make a play, and he is able to get the shorty shot in. Do they know he's in the sight? Yes, Finesse takes him down as his arsenal is away. And now just a few more flicks to take down these 100 Thieves members, but Cryo has something to say about it. Oh, the Vice flash from Verno. He cleans up his own kills and brings it to 5 for NRG.
And that's one of those moments where you wanted to see Verno. First time here in the stage of kickoff, and he's able to finally come alive in this second matchup, in this second series, this time against 100 Thieves. And that pop flash was just really nice. It looked like at some moment, since the spike wasn't really planted for them, and they're still playing double tree, that it was there was an opportunity for 100 Thieves to come back. But not only do they have the bloom, even if Verno dies or only gets one, he's delayed long enough. You saw already Ethan right here, rotating out towards the orb so he could play the salvos to delay. So I guess they understood here the power of what Teo could do in these post plants as well when it comes down to these 2-on-2s. And now they broke the economy of 100 Thieves, but Asuna has a nice little forward position.
Ooh, little bait from the teammate. Oh, it just hits him on the side there. Able to get out. Bit of damage done though. And thwarted early game round here from 100 Thieves. NRG doing everything they can to sort out these angles now that they've been kind of pain pointed by trying to clear without util.
Not ready yet.
3 ults ready now for 100 Thieves though.
They've already used the drone for Ethan, so if you want to try to re-hit back and take control of Mount, you're going to need a lot more util around. You're not too sure if you want to waste all of that at the very beginning. Looks like they were pulling back for a bit. Baiting out the Rolling Thunder, that's good.
Jeez, they're just massing with 100 Thieves' head, and they're not pushing up. Xander's not pushing up, so they don't have information on the other side of the map, so they're still wondering if his util's right. Cryo, though, is going to get a good pick with that hit.
Drop in a smoke.
And they turn NRG away. This rotation's going to be read by 100 Thieves fans.
Yeah, and even if there's 30 seconds left, there's a smoke coming out, the first delay. Xander still has his paranoia, so he can delay even more. Then they have a Nightfall for the big piece of util to fight back against NRG.
Through baby door. Again, it's Cryo. The next one just across the map as EU starts to answer as well, and it's a scatter for NRG. They don't know which way to look. EU picks up the final frag of the round, and we almost have a tie game. 4-5 now.
That round was really important for 100 Thieves. It shows the proactiveness around moving the defensive line, and one of those moments where they had a perfect read into the round. A lot of these moments you're seeing just Cryo by himself, and it looks like he's gonna, if he dies, it's pretty much GG. But at that moment, right over here through the baby door, if he fell, look at the rest of the defenders already trailing behind, making sure that they don't give a chance here for NRG to set up once again into the site. So very good map control into that round, and what we wanted to see and potentially what was being talked about, making sure that they iron out the playbook that they have for 100 Thieves, and Zix called a perfect timeout.
Wild impact frags for Cryo right now. B will be left open with the flex of Mata Showstopper. Oh my god, Austin is just on the other side. He gets a trade though, as Sam was just outside that smoke. And they're waiting to get this retake.
I mean, everything is good. You have a super late lurk coming out now for Finesse. He's going to try to get a backstep, but at the same time, if he wants to wait it out, he also has a Rolling Thunder for the pulse plan.
Oh, the angle wasn't expected though. Cryo just off to the left isn't able to capitalize on that. What a move from FNS.
Yeah. Cryo expected it, but not Bucio, thinking that Cryo had the angle still.
Oh my god, Sander, Cryo! Oh, they have just whittled the numbers down all up to Verno now. He's had some huge rounds just in the past. Another 2v1 for him here. Inside, outside, it's going to be too tough as EU is just slaloming there, and what it looks like a half pipe gets the kill onto Verno, and it is 5-5 now as 100 Thieves are playing much quicker.
One of those moments where I felt that Verno could have had it. I'm sure if you've been following North American Challengers in last year and 1v3s, 1v4s, playing a breach on Sunset, he's clutched it out. But thankfully, the players that were still alive right there on that 2v1 for NRG, or sorry, for 100 Thieves, that they still had smokes to work with to make sure that you screen out that whole area. Cryo playing that clove to help out even more. That was a very nice retake towards the end for 100 Thieves, especially with those kills that came first from that lurk from Finesse. It looked like it was a done deal for NRG's victory.
You lose your breach, all the shots have to hit after that. You don't really have the retake. 5-5, still a bit of this back and forth on Rubble, but the majority of the time won by NRG. This time they have Verno on the other side of the map. They have been running as 5 here in the past few rounds.
4-1 setup and almost giving the responsibility for Verno to keep Cryo at bay. He's not really set up to be the late lurk or to watch an aggressive push. But NRG are working together towards this tree. Really not using that. I mean, they can't. They already used a drone before, so they can't really try to clear the tree towards him. So Sam has to throw smokes, rather, in order to take control of this tree area.
Ult goes into Armageddon at the backside. Oh my word. Huge ultimates coming out. Sam's capitalizing on one. It should be a free site here, but the retake is what we're thinking about for 100 Thieves. This could be huge from Verno, who's still trying to get the team coming around from 100 Thieves. Oh, this fight in sight. 100 Thieves are dropping. His energy doesn't even need Verno to do too much work right now. They can stay patient and just let everyone in sight do the work.
He was aware of this, but because of all these other teammates kind of died towards the A site, they feel like they have to make a play, so a perfect opportunity for Verno to start flanking.
EU, they get the creep in just in time now, able to trade each other. Maybe to half. They hear Verno walking in, he still hits the shot though. Now EU under the smoke, it's not gonna be enough from Clove, from Cryo, and Mata still gets the kill onto Boostio. A little stalled there, but it looked like NRG felt comfortable the whole time.
Still a nice little execution coming out for NRG, and the fact that they were able to draw out these things from 1 week to the next is actually quite nice to see. Again, the amount of work that came through. Yes, even if the Armageddon was a little bit slow and Asuna is able to run away as that Neon, it still really smothered that A site, not give a chance here for really 100 Thieves to set up. You saw already Xander was stuck around the corner and got instantly taken down. And it didn't give a chance here for 100 Thieves to move in as a group.
Finesse is seeing all the high percentage plays at the moment. It seems like when NRG hits these sites, you're like, oh, there's no way that one fails, right? Lots of ults, lots of util, layered. See if they can do it without ults now. They are going to be facing a few from 100 Thieves as they look towards this C site and play a little bit of that open door game. Big push, fans.
And not too much economy left for 100 Thieves in this last round, so it looked pretty good at the start with NRG taking full control of Mound, and you see here from that minimap, there's only Cry alone at that spot.
Yeah.
But the stop and go, the NRG rethink of, they think they pulled a rotate. It's a full stack all over for 100 Thieves.
The family photo for 100 Thieves just on the other side. They have to force this now. The drone came out. That's going to be a 3 clear coming into A main. Overdrive now, and Asuna is just going to go ahead and face plant on Finesse, but he finds the kill. He finds it in the chaos. He is marked, though, and they're able to follow a trail to his death. And now, Mata, we talked about kind of being off the ball sometimes. This was one of those rounds, and now a very tall task on the other side of the map. He's even getting flanked by Cryo somehow already.
That was just so nice from the Paranoid to hit, but yeah, the pincer maneuver on both sides.
30 seconds left.
Oh, just makes it in. Steps out. The shot from Cryo there, and we do get the 6-6. Even with NRG's 3-4 round run there, 6 timeout comes in huge.
Yeah.
Gets the team to pace up a bit more and get back to that 100 Thieves play style.
Definitely got so much value from that timeout, and again, from that play, the high-low setup to see the players moving forward, and it's just a drone that initiates the hit. So much util coming through, nothing you could do there. A great start for the half.
Wild stuff. Well, we got way more after this. Don't touch that browser. We'll be right back after the break.
Red Bull gives you wings.
We are back, about to get in the map here between NRG and 100 Thieves. A 6-6 first half as 100 Thieves were able to kind of right the ship, figure out how to up the pace again and start pincer maneuvering the side of NRG. FNS did a really nice job of being able to string those rounds together early right off the bonus. But we still got a game on our hands.
Yeah, this is basically the same scoreline when things kicked off here against Cloud9, a 6-6 half. Then you have NRG going into the defensive side, and then you saw the shenanigans happening where, you know, Finesse was turning around and shooting a teammate that was TPing back behind him. So I don't know why it felt like first-time stage jitters for such a veteran team, but hopefully this will not happen this time around against 100 Thieves, as NRG setting up in this moment very passively on this A side. It feels like they almost want to give up that space for 100 Thieves to take, and they could try to capitalize back with the long-range fights coming through here from Mata and Ethan.
And we talked a bit about before the game that Asuna's Neon, seeing now the Tejo, the Breach, how fast he can go and how much he wants to be in front of the util could really put pressure on NRG they're not expecting. Now it's Asuna's turn to go fast. Gotta go fast. Already creating some rubble trouble here. Sam is ready to stall this and get the team prepared for an A-hit. Okay, Cryo, just 2 classic shots out of nowhere. Asuna has the frenzy as he flies around. And yeah, NRG just tries to peek their head out for a second, and they lose each and every one of them.
I don't know how the hell that happened, because it went right into the game plan of what NRG wanted. Let them get the space and then go for the double swing, and then Cryo somehow with that double swing of those 2 players we were just mentioned before gets dominated by Cryo's this Clove.
Straight to A. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They did have a bit of a C lurk to start this one, but the end is exactly where they want to be. Pushing Verno off this. Right-click classic just to grab another one and see who finalizes this one out of FNS as he's rushing in. It's just so many people. Nothing he can do. Knew he was done. And 100 Thieves is going to pick up pistol round in the second half.
So the shenanigans and the fun they were having in the lobby before getting into the game is now being expressed in the server, where no matter what, it is still a competitive game, and it's still elimination. And an elimination game for these teams. But look at that. One through the smoke, the other one on the fault line coming through from the assist. Very nicely done for Cryo as the entry. And you looked at how he was set up here for 100 Thieves. There was no real rate boss. Asuna had a frenzy with no armor, and they were just trying to work as that group because they were lacking, you know, that raid boss capability for the entry. So 100 Thieves continuing with those funnies, making it work, and now also staying towards the spawn this round, anticipating that NRG wants to go for some sort of a trap play on their eco.
All the orbs for Asuna.
There.
Good defense here from E, or good backup by EU, I should say. 100 Thieves are expecting NRG to do something a little funky here. Get a push all the way back. You can see Xander has his back against the wall in spawn, just so they don't make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, they have, at least here for NRG, Ethan's position in this area as this breach, so that whatever contacts come through, he could help out on that site for like some sort of delay, so that hopefully if anybody's anchoring there, it could just be a one and done, but still good enough damage done for NRG to just regroup and react after. But 100 Thieves, they're not biting into any of this.
No.
They stayed towards that spawn, now all grouping up, and because of that uncertainty, the breach moved away, and now it's just Verno alone with the classic.
Yeah, force him to fight in this low buy and put him in a pressure cooker situation here. 30 seconds, you're not going to really get anyone in sight. And now we wait. See if they all try to get to the spike here. It would be the correct thing. And if Asuna goes hunting. Here he goes. Oh, that's a lot. It's instantly triggered every trap over there at Waterfall. Paranoia goes through, but Asuna still finds one. 4 off that ultimate, just needs a few more pips. The rest of the team picking him up. He gets 3 away. And he gets 1 more. And it's just, it becomes a game for them at this point. We see how much fun he's having. He talks about his movement agents. He loves to be kind of just freaking out in everybody's face.
Yeah.
Causing problems.
You already see from the waterfall push, it's being blocked out by Cryo smoke so that NRG can't really run through. So it's like giving up that spawn after he needs that drone and gets a kill towards the spawn. He's moving everywhere that he can. And unfortunately not fast enough to get the backstab onto Verno, but at least the round comes in for 100 Thieves, converting into the anti-eco with a nice flawless.
It's wild too. Asuna, he loves to do this. Loves the pressure, wants it to be even in a bigger game. It's like he just wants more. It's awesome to see him perform in these situations as well. 8-6 now, and we'll see if they can keep it going on these bonus rounds. It's going to be a full buy here for the side of NRG, and we'll see what Finesse can put into the mix. This is pretty much how they played their defense. Verno, the Vice, was on C, I should say, delaying things for the team. So not much has changed in the way they're setting up here. Just the agent. Spikes down for now.
Oh. So many times here, confident taps on the orb to pick it up for 100 Thieves. So for the last 2 rounds, unexpecting some sort of stack coming through for a pincer maneuver from the C side to B.
Yep. Quick wall fake.
It's going to run down a couple of seconds, but at least there's still the Razor Vine set up for an extra stall for Verno.
So much patience here. Is 100 Thieves really going to run the clock every time and up that pace only on the hit? I mean, it can always be fast when they want it to be. They hope that this timing, this waiting, is messing with the defensive positioning, but it doesn't look like it. NRG's ready here to defend. The smokes will deter just a little bit. There's Asuna right in the middle of the frying pan right now. Can't figure out where to look through the smoke, though. Verno just steps right out. The flash did not catch anybody he was thinking, and now it's just going to be NRG trying to recoup and figure out where they can get some kills here. 100 Thieves, C after C after C hit.
That is just insane, though, coming out from Asuna. Going into the site to open things up, and all he does is bunny hop around every piece of util, and still manages to find a kill in a smoke towards the end when you had a push coming out from Verno trying to fight back here towards the C site. I just love how again, it's very similar to what we were seeing maybe in a different moment in the round, but the utility that was being brought out by MIBR was always broken up by just the running high gear of this Neon. So NRG were definitely trying to smother a little bit more around fault lines and the salvos, but it's still just not enough. They need that a little bit more here to really try to shut down Asuna.
It's like you have Asuna on a Neon or Oxy on his Raze when he's blast packing through Viper's pits. Your teammates, you're basically looking at the minimap to see where those blips come up, and you're spamming, or you're repositioning to spam. And this is what he's providing, just getting eyes here, eyes there. What has he wasted? 1, 2, 3, another fault line as well. And then Verno flag, you heard the flash just go off, but it doesn't tag.
In any other situation, a duelist, a pro duelist would probably say, I don't have a chance to play the game because I'm just getting hit by everything. But he dodges everything, eats flashes, and still gets a kill. That's the insane part about it.
You're right. In chat, it would be like, where's my team? But Asuna doesn't need that. He says, no, you guys come in when you need to. I'll do what I have to. And crazy stuff from him. So 9-6, still such a close game, but those 3 power rounds as they hit C, hit towards A, just seems like it might be tough for this next one and NRG to pull it back. They're going to call a timeout to make sure that is the case, and they can figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, it even looked like as soon as we had the camera view on to the coach of Bangkok, it doesn't look like he's saying too much there. But maybe it's just to calm things down for a bit because NRG is probably starting to feel, again, that same curse of playing a defensive side where it's still pretty slow. It's still not necessarily lackluster, but they're still trying to find the right timings with the new comp that they bring out, and they just couldn't find it at the right spot. Again, I think the main thing is finesse as this reach on the lines that you can hold out. We're looking for maybe playing towards that tree at the very beginning, so you could actually fault line the whole cross from the Neon trying to run up towards the A orb. But it's been fully avoided by 100 Thieves. And this time, though, look at this. There's just a lot of players getting ready to fight back towards this B main.
Yeah, pings too right there from the side of 100 Thieves. And it looks like Asuna wants to go again. It might even be unpunished again towards C. They're abusing this orb. They can jump on the Vice wall and just get it away. It's like taking out a Killjoy alert bot.
And this is what we wanted, though, a little bit more as they're trying to fight towards the B main. I mean, we might hold that thought because they are overcommitting into this fight.
Pushing up. Mata gets one, but they want to back up right away. They just like the fact that they put a wrench in the works of this round, now causing it to be a 4v5 conversion if 100 Thieves can win the round here. So a good timeout to start so far. I think Bangkok was saying we need to do something first.
Yes.
You know, we need to be the one.
And that's the thing with the 3 players moving up. Well, actually, let's again hold that thought. Crowd just got a little opener on the A side, so that's going to open things up for 100 Thieves to be able to rotate back where NRG had the perfect read at the very beginning until they lost Ethan.
Was that a jump shot? That was a weird angle once we saw where he was. Got to check that on replay. But what a shot for Cryo, who's been doing it across the map. Opens it up again towards the A side, and NRG was ready for almost another C. They play in the middle of the map, so this low buy can get to whatever site they need, though.
We got flashes, the fault lines are being used into paranoia as well.
Yeah.
And not even committed. It's been restalled by 100 Thieves.
Oh gosh, overdrive straight into the spawn of NRG. Cryo's still there to give him trouble on the entry, but it's about this A-Link area. The stairs entry, they don't know who's coming from behind, and they're not able to clean it up just yet. EU has to go for both sides, the swing to the right, and it's gonna be Sam who picks it up. FNS was still there, and he's gonna be the one to get the defuse. Patience from NRG there on a lower buy.
Yeah. And just to talk back about NRG's run from the beginning to the end for that round, that triple push that they had towards that B side, it could help you contain that spot, but at least you have the Breach and the Omen and the Raze together so that finally, if you do have Asuna starting to go and grab for that orb again on the C side, they could actually go for the open door and crunch from the C side and to B to fight back towards Mound. But this time leveraging also Mata to continue to overextend towards that spawn and try to get your one, because 100 Thieves have been leaving maybe a player behind in these moments, and he's able to win that fight. It gives them a good opportunity here to come back and retake and win that round.
And look at that, 100 Thieves always go into these no spike default rounds when they start. You know, it'll get picked up almost right away here as they're deciding what to do, but a lot of times they slow themselves down after seeing a round like that. Back to this kind of abuse of the front of C though.
Yeah. No matter what, at the beginning of these rounds, if it's not for an aggressive exchange of utility at the very beginning, it's still, no matter what, a lot of scouting that they're trying to do with util, and never really an assertive attack round for either of these teams. So a huge war in terms of playing that mid round for both 100 Thieves and NRG that so far has been paying out more for the side of the T's.
Nightfall would be great for an A site here, wasting just about 40 seconds in the round to go about. They've inserted Asuna to see if a peek comes through. So 100 Thieves are just saying, we want options. Oh, maybe it was a headshot last time.
Yeah, try to jump spot and
we
then
want
boom.
options, and they're giving themselves options.
Nad already pushing Sam away. First util, I mean, the Haunt being thrown shows that Rubble's clear, so they could start moving towards that spot. Can't really one-way as the Omen anymore, but it's still good enough here to block the util.
Bonk?
30 seconds left.
Oh my gosh. Eyebrows torn off of Finesse, and now he's forced to walk around back towards the spawn in a safe position.
20 seconds, all of this was a fake. Everybody staying towards the C lean. There's only one player towards the A side, but he actually manages to dodge the Nightfall.
10 seconds left.
And he go out almost. You saw Sam almost wanted to play there, but he is waiting, playing the proper way on this one. Looks like they all want to waterfall in from the top side here, Vans. This is going to get sketchy if they cannot hit the ground. The util is actually hitting pretty well as Mata starts off on Xander. This play from Sam. He's going to come around the backside on everyone and get these shots in. No vision just yet. 100 Thieves is still able to source out where NRG is before. This flank is coming in, though. Just too much patience from NRG on the retake, and 100 Thieves was out looking the whole time for the opponent.
The whole time here, Sam was heading towards that staircase, was holding in that spot. So he was the first contact, heard all of that util, the hit coming in for 100 Thieves, didn't want to go for the hero play, so he held back to make sure they could flood back in. But the responsibility that he had, the reason why he's the last player standing, he just wants to make sure that nobody loses that space for NRG as they want to try to play the retake.
Yeah.
So he was the last line of defense, trying to flank from behind, but that tether spotting two players towards that drop. Just too good here for 100 Thieves to take.
Living, nice!
Yo, Pete, you are so aware, bro. I'm not kidding. You might be the best player in the world.
There you go. There you go. And honestly, Asuna, it continues to get better. You're talking to him in his previous interviews and whatnot. It's like, hey man, has there ever been a moment when you really felt like you were working on something? And he's like, no, I feel like I've increasing and knowing what I'm doing. I don't feel like I stall out here, and I'm playing like I'm allowed to play my game. And this team allows him to do even more, which is amazing.
And Cryo mentioned it, probably the best iteration of 100 Thieves that he's played with so far, and Asuna being the longest standing player for this roster. When he won First Strike back in like 2020 with him and Dicey, right? And to see the evolution of Asuna going from like a duelist back to an initiator roles, being criticized, but then now under the guidance of Zix and this whole new roster that comes in around him, the great eye jailing from Busio, you're starting to see the resurgence of Asuna back into potentially a pseudo KO and duelist Neon role that is a key component into the success of 100 Thieves so far.
It's wild stuff. Fun fact, if you consider Boaster's move from Summon FC to Fnatic, he is the longest standing member on one team. Then it's Asuna, worldwide. It's kind of crazy. These two have been such factors for their team, but it's about Asuna now trying to get 100 Thieves continued in this kickoff as NRG put up a bit of strength towards Rubble here to start things off. They lose Mata, and now 100 Thieves feels comfortable to keep pushing forward.
It's difficult to do. You're just trying to catch your opponents, but a close smoke goes down. The eco that you bring in for energy gets stalled and stopped. Mata couldn't even get a pick off the Sheriff, couldn't even play the game that round. And that's just easy for 100 Thieves here as they heard the fallback from energy to just go for this post plant. All over towards A.
Lurk out. Xander's already watching the flank. The timing that 100 Thieves hits the site, you can see now, it gives them the time to turn around and understand what the flank would be, where it'd be coming from. Doesn't mean they win, though.
Yeah.
Energy already won a low-buy round before. Quick kill. Asuna follows up. They have not taken their eyes off of the flank here, and 100 Thieves will be able to wipe this one out, giving themselves 11 and starting to really pressure NRG here on the first map.
With a flawless on top of that, and the anti-eco quite clean for 100 Thieves. And yeah, you mentioned somebody watching that flank, but it's almost quite standard here looking at 100 Thieves, right? They're not playing with the full Sentinel players, so you actually do need somebody to watch these moments, and it is going to be the responsibility of Xander so that you could actually have Cryo move in as a group and be those actual smokes for the engagements, for the hits into the sites.
And playing fast kind of lends yourself to that last person being more of a Sentinel a trip. If you're always in spawn, they don't have a job. you're all the Sentinel trip. So yeah, the fact that 100 Thieves goes fast now, like you said, Cryo plays your kind of Sentinel smoke on that right side. Right in. This is the first time Verno has actually presented himself at the front of the site, and it's going to be huge. 3 quick kills. And that is a very different look here for Energy.
That's also very clean from Verno. Baiting out his utility that he's going to play behind there, that you could still move in and bait out the shear out from what he's placed here.
The audacity to play that this far behind, too. Be like, hey, guys, this could be a one and done. Never mind, I got 3.
And he didn't even have help because at the very beginning, 3 players are on the A side.
Right.
So a good hero play.
Exactly.
Sometimes you need that here to add a little bit more oomph here into your defensive side for energy.
Trying to activate that wall if you can. It's not as easy without Asuna on Neon. And yeah, 100 Thieves is basically stuck here for the next 40 seconds. They have to re-clear all of the map, and NRG is just waiting for those shots. For Verno to do that is kind of crazy. It's still blowing my mind.
Yep.
That would be so easy to lose all the Vice util. You lose sight. The retake's not really going to be there. And now they'll have Vice ultimate for next round. The Rolling Thunder as well. Showstopper. They can really string these together and keep 100 Thieves off game point.
And that's the thing for 100 Thieves. You have 2 players that are still alive going to the next round. EU is going to be maxed out no matter what. So you might question why you're not trying to go for at least eliminating some weapons, keeping the economy low. But you're looking at it at the other end. There's still an ultimate. Well, I mean, Mata just ran all the way out towards the A side to grab already a showstopper. But if Ethan's able to get a pick, that's also a cycle of ultimates coming out from NRG's side that could really turn the tides for 100 Thieves. So they're okay counting their losses in terms of, you know, losing the round, but also just wanted to make sure that you don't allow your opponents to get all of these ults up. And yeah, that was very, I mean, look at all of these jiggles coming out from Verno.
Not sure how that's possible, but I killed 3.
Okay. This has blown my mind. I feel like when Finesse built this team, he's like, how can I find everyone as calm as me?
Yeah.
And build that team. And then everybody has the potential to do crazy things, but you don't see this team getting too hyped. They're always measured. They understand what's going on. Even like when Mata talks, he's like, hey, Verno, did you see that?
Yeah.
He like got like a triple kill, like popped 1 shot.
I think the only one that's vocal is like Sam sometimes.
That's true, yeah.
Right?
Sam will pop off. But yeah, and I think it helps them too. Keeps their nerves in check. Know they can come back, and you got FNS calling these shots.
Yet still jump spotting out here to see if you could bait anything out. Ethan just pinging 3 players out in the very beginning. 100 Thieves are playing all the way back towards that spawn and trying to see if there's going to be any over jump peaks they could try to punish. It's now grouping back up. Ethan's already there to help out here in long range distance with this double stack that you have towards C.
All right, so going back to the mess with util game, but they don't have their A control as they usually do. They're gonna have to fight for this again. 100 Thieves are in one of their most scattered defaults that we've seen throughout this entire first map.
TP out towards the A side to maybe go for a flank.
Just a bit of util.
Xander actually stuck this so they can try to pinch back towards Rubble.
Spike down A.
Can't really jump forward on this one. Still gets a shot off. Cryo's going to be getting up on this one and trying to get the fight back in. They trade. Mata is just so stunned up. Xander's going to take advantage of that. And now the 3v3 as they start to enter site, but the ult's going to come in. Steel Garden. Rolling Thunder is there as well.
Can he make it on time, though? He's getting close to heaven, but Verno is there. Don't even need the Rolling Thunder with another anchor play coming out from Verno.
Nasty from Verno. We finally start to see what Finesse has been talking about. Verno's been kind of last to these situations, or he's obviously anchoring a site. But yeah, when he gets there in time for the fight, he is setting things alight.
And for both of these teams, they've mentioned it for their losses. It all comes down to these little things that they could capitalize on, right? And when you're looking at it, it has been pretty clean from both of the teams in this round. The op shot, showstopper out, you're bidding it out with the Clo Vault, and then you're finally able to pinch through, but you've wasted enough time for the rotate. But we'll hold that thought again. It's starting to get very explosive towards the later end of this map. 100 Thieves once again taking control of this orb. A lot more aggressive, already crossed over towards the A orb, and want to fight back towards Baby Door.
Keeping 100 Thieves off of this game point, relieving just a little bit of pressure, giving them room to work. And they start to just mess with Baby Door here. Austin is kind of inserted at this point, but no movement can happen off of this. Wait a minute. What's their retaliation, though? They break Baby Door and go out from both sides?
Not good.
Rolling Thunder goes through. Xander stuck. Austin tries to get that fight back, but Verno takes 2 down again. 4 in just a matter of moments from last round to this. And he is cooking, top frag in the server. And now he has turned 100 Thieves just away from that initial hit. They're stuck in tree, and they have to go forward from here.
What a big hero play by Verno. We'll talk about that very soon. 100 Thieves still want to engage into this site.
Spike down A.
Finally battle their way through, but their numbers always dwindling. This is where 100 Thieves had so much trouble. They lose the members on the way to site, and they would fall here in the post plant. Watch this slow retake. Looks like NRG might just be playing with their food.
That's such a good smoke, though, towards the beginning, so they could double up. Yeah, the Boombot sees them. There's still 2 to fight.
The trade, 1v1's created. Oh, the left turn. Finesse is just going to go for the flash. They're going to play the safe util and now get together. I mean, look at the time they're taking to make this happen. But the 1v1 still created. Verno now, can he do it again? Verno on the clutch. It's going to be EU this time with the 4K Red Bull clutch.
EU! Disgusting play going into that one, and he still had the Nightfall to work with, but just heads-up play to know where the last players were at. When he threw that seize, there's no tethers coming out. He knows now that they're both doubled up here. Found the timing, a little bit of miscommunication with NRG, not swinging as a group. Feeling that time was of the essence. It was against them, but EU just steps up to the plate.
That's Boostio's initiator, not yours. That's his initiator. All right, 100 Thieves now on game point for map 1. The attack side has proved so good for them, Vansili.
Yeah. That almost takes away the huge play from Verno at the beginning of the last round. When the Rolling Thunder actually missed Asuna. And that was the demise here of NRG losing that map of Fracture against Cloud9 in overtime. But nonetheless, it came down to a clutch play of EU to put them at map point. And again, 100 Thieves at the beginning trying to break that util at the very beginning. Sheer is now already gone.
Push up from NRG gives them an idea. They can stay mid to B here, or mid to C rather. Get that quick rotation if they have to adapt. Just a little bit of noise game being played. You see pings towards spawn, or towards C. So yeah, it looks like this is where it's going to end. It's Asuna going back towards the bend has been so effective. They can't stop him, and with overdrive, he's going to create so much chaos in this site.
But this is pretty good here for NRG. The more the clock dwindles down, salvo available, Armageddon available, so 100 Thieves have to start moving.
Nightfall, gonna give them an idea of where the rest of the site is. Instantly to the back is gonna be Cryo and Asuna. They have to wait for the Armageddon to come through before they can get in position. This is gonna give NRG time to regather in spawn.
Now the salvo was too early, so an opportunity to move in for a plant. You kind of want to bring potentially here this Aftershock, but they'll get the plant down now for 100 Thieves.
A quick metal mark up there towards spawn. Verno just getting the HP back. 2 on Waterfall, 2 spawn. In this hit on the flank from Mata. Who's going to be first? There's the EU shot. He gets another one. That's going to be onto Ethan. Oh, how is nobody finding each other? They're trying to play the tightest angles right now. NRG quickly pick up 4. This is only going to leave Asuna alive. Shorty just to the face of Mata, but it's not enough. Mata keeps him alive in the 1v1 in the Red Bull clutch, and they survive here on Lotus for another round.
At 8 HP remaining here onto Mata on that 1v1. I was going to question it once again. Mata going on a defensive pushes just like he did against Cloud9, where paint shells were so good for the retakes, where it could help out the rest of the util for NRG to retake. His gun was sticking into the smoke.
Yeah.
And thankfully here, Asuna did not have enough bullets to work with and had to work with the shorty. He pushed through, misses.
Oh my god.
2 shots of the shorty. Right here. First miss, second one.
Shorty just to the face. Shorty just to the face. Yeah, just calm, cool, collected, and we're almost to an OT game. These guys are just playing it round for round. 100 Thieves are going to get a second timeout here from Zix. Talk about what they can do for a possible final round. We're seeing Verno with the Steel Garden. Not too many ults on the side of NRG. But the way they've been defending and playing with each other here on the trades, it doesn't seem like ults are there. The utility layering is coming into play.
Yeah, after this timeout is trying to see if they could just be a little bit more quicker, especially with the broken economy that they'll come into this round. Stinger is probably coming in. You want to know here if you just could go for that buddy system and trade instantly. And even if I think they're 1 away from a Rolling Thunder. So if you get the plant down out for Boostio too, that's also extra stall on their side.
Yeah,
and you can already see it coming back from this timeout. All 5 of them grouped in towards the A main at the beginning. But this is where that line I was talking about, something that's very good for this fault line that the Breach could do, that breaks here. The rush that the Neon could do across that spot.
Well, the Tejo's ready too. You see Ethan right there, ready to throw the salvo in.
And if he passed towards Rubble, the fault line could still be very good to go a straight line down and then go with the salvo and nades.
Here we go. Mata tries to take position on Rubble. He's going to eat a full salvo. No, salvo's just in front. FNS finds the first frag as they are absolutely collapsing down on 100 Thieves. They can't even get out into the Rubble area. This is ridiculous. Beautiful from NRG. The timeout is snuffed.
Last round of regulation comes down to a full rifle round and ultimates. 2 important ultimates on either side. Boostio with the Rolling Thunder. And then the Vice ult coming out from Verno into this last round. But this fight towards Rubble has been so clean here for NRG.
Yo, Dan!
Made sure here that the noise canceling headphones work. I don't think Dan was looking.
No.
But it's quick right away. Another fight towards Rubble.
Oh my gosh. Hot foot anywhere on the ground for Asuna to stand. It doesn't seem like it. It's right into the bullets of FNS. And now Ethan gets another one. OT on the horizon here. If the 3 members of 100 Thieves cannot get the Rolling Thunder into place, it is let loose now, but no retaliation. This is just a space gain here as Boostio tries to keep pushing them back. All their util is being used for space before the site. This is going to be a tough round for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, especially with the drone spawning 2 of them in forward positions by the orb. You already have the engagement of Verno flanking all the way back and just holding his position.
Okay, there's one back.
Everybody's pinned.
EU is limping.
Right there.
You need Cryo to activate here because 2 kills would allow for him to get at least the ult out from the Clove. And maybe a saving grace for 100 Thieves to finish this first map.
Oh, Sam almost with 2 there. Puts Boostio down to a 3rd.
There's that first one, but he's the last player standing.
Oh, what a dodge. Just ran out. The Steel Garden coming in, not allowing anything to happen there, and that's going to be OT. NRG bring it back.
Overtime.
Despite the pressure 100 Thieves was able to put on the attack side, FNS and squad adapt to what's happening. And we're going to see some OT here in our first map of this elimination.
Cannot be an NRG game without a comeback, and a true comeback to at least push this to extra innings. But the fight coming through, how NRG wants to go toe-to-toe just like 100 Thieves. And they absolutely have that firepower to make that happen. And now Util on top of that with the compositional change. And now coming back here into this first round of overtime, it's NRG back on the attack.
And you got to think this helps them a little bit. They were loving their attack side. They had a great read on how 100 Thieves was defending, so they may be able to string a second round in, or I should say a first overtime round in right now.
Already early pressure out for NRG, but nobody's biting the bullet for 100 Thieves. At least they've inserted 2 players out towards the rubble.
Yeah.
That's both Mata and Som working in tandem, while the rest of them are still trying to figure out what they could hear, what they could see. And it's a ping out towards the orb to start because the door has been open on that B side.
Double util identification too. They heard the flash and the drone. So they know that Finesse and Ethan are on this left side of the map. Little bit of movement. Looks like Xander's considering popping the door for a game, but he's about to find a surprise on the other side if he does that.
He still has Paranoid to work with the Stole in this spot.
100 Thieves playing so safe. Back of sights, except for Xander.
Busio may be in the right angle here, in the right distance, so at least close off towards this front side if you are going for the contact play for NRG.
Himself a quick smoke to hide in here. Play the paranoia. Oh, it's so beautiful. The fault line comes through that you were talking about all the way from B. The cross-map communication here is clicking now for 100 Thieves, but will the headshots follow? Xander and EU are going to be able to trade on that one, but Finesse coming up huge towards the end. We have to remember Finesse was the one back on Fracture that brought him a 3K into the overtime, so he is good for it as we're in these rounds.
An aftershock miss, so we have a 2v2, but isolated fights. Bridge on bridge with the door opening.
No push just yet. Razor Vines slowing it down. Util's out. There's a flash for Verno.
Contact onto Cryo. Cryo has metal, so they could double swing in.
Oh, the timing. How somehow they get out alive, both with their backs turned. They know where one is. They've identified both. They're going to swing towards the backside of the site. Cryo's able to trade, but is the defuse time there? He has to get half before this peak. He's going to be able to do it so far. He's going to stick it. He's going to stick it. Oh, my God. He gets the defuse, and Finesse misses the shot.
Oh, that's going to have to hurt here for the IGL of NRG. Another one of those crucial moments where, I mean, it's very difficult at that point. He's so far away. You're trying to drive by with the inaccuracy while you're running through. Look at him just dancing around.
Oh, my gosh. No way.
Got hit in the kneecap and still limps away with the defuse as 100 Thieves are back at map point.
What a way to get onto the map point there. Cryo doing his best dance, and he brings him in another round here. Bustio's gonna be carrying the spike as we start off on round 26. They head towards the left side with Cryo just being the information gainer over here at A.
He wants to do audio cues, but there's no satchels, there's nothing. It's a walk contact. Cryo's gonna get punished.
Yeah, double swing. Nicely timed by the side of NRG and Mata. And now they're forced to rush this wall that they usually play with. Don't have to go here, but they now alert NRG to the positioning on the map. Doesn't get through. All right, back to site. We figured they'd get in once they started messing with the util. But this is going to be Mata rotating back over. 1 kill for Mata, gets him the ult. The showstopper is now ready for site. This could really play into NRG's favor.
Ooh, nice stun. Coming out here, slowing them down. Spike's planted though for 100 Thieves.
Nice return stun as well. They're hitting each other back and forth. The util's about to run out. It's going to come down to the shot. Xander hits the first one. Bustio and Osteo. Osteo come up big, but Verno is there. And we talked about Mata. 1 for the ult. He can put the pressure on if he just gets this shot. He's got 2 chances for it. Turns the wrong way. EU spam down a little bit, and he's forced to rush here. The time against Mata, working it, but EU gets the shorty shot. He takes down Mata, and they are going to be able to grab the first map of Lotus.
100 Thieves closing it out by NRG, not without a fight. A 6-6 half, and it went to another 6-6 into an overtime to finally see 100 Thieves squeak this through on their map pick. But you're going into this series right now, Riv, where this is still looking pretty good for NRG. It wasn't too much of a slow start, but at the same time, you're going into 2 maps potentially in the next two being Pearl and Bind. That hasn't been seen yet by NRG, but you do have tape on 100 Thieves for the last two series that they played.
Right, and this is going to be NRG's pick of Pearl that we will see next, so maybe feeling a little more comfortable there. This game already, it took basically an org to help, right? It took the coach, it took the teams, it took the vibe from the fans, the energy that they could give.
Hero plays.
Hero plays from almost everyone. Yeah, they're reaching deep into the pocket here for this elimination game to stay in the kickoff bracket.
This is going to be a good one here, and it's so crazy to me that it's such high stakes so early in kickoff. This bracket has been so stacked, but man, this is a great way to start the lower brackets for sure.
Crazy stuff going on. There's still more games here for Elimination Week. We're going to be stepping away, but up next, Zoe and the analyst desk will be breaking down map number 1. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, Team Secret, we need you guys on the stage now. Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.